Hey guys, Darcy here. So we're back with Apex the rapper, and what we're going to be going over is the actual first pass of the mix. He's had a chance to listen to it. Hey, shout out the people, man. Say what's up to them.
Hey, what's up? It's Apex. Been working with Darcy on this mix. He's helping me actually remix the bar heavy song because I don't really know how to do the whole mixing thing, and he's making it sound a lot better. We're seeing how this is working out, making like notes and whatnot on what else we want to do to this.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, so saying Apex had the chance to listen to like the first mix, and then we're just gonna like go through this, chat, see what he likes, see what he wants to improve on, and see what we can do maybe right now while we're recording this, and he's seeing me doing like this in the software, but also like some of these things might happen after the fact. So first off, man, what did you think of the first mix? Keep it real. What'd you like? And then let's go into what you want to improve. So, like up front, what did you like about it?
So the first thing that I noticed was the clarity, like in terms of the actual recording coming through, was like two whole steps above what I'm usually used to hearing myself sound like.
Dope.
And that's pretty much the difference between having somebody who actually like does the producer role versus somebody who just raps and goes, "Well, I can put a noise floor on here, and I don't know what a lot of this other stuff is. Throw on a filter or two, whatever, it sounds fine."
Yeah, man.
Like that's the difference between the actual professional mixing versus just somebody going, I'm not sure what I'm doing, but this makes it sound a little better. Put it out." Uh, So a lot of the like double effects that were thrown in there for certain like ends of lines, just the rhyme schemes, I thought really accented it well. Really, really like that one towards the end right before the like last bit. Kind of gave me a vibe of like one of the like more
You're cutting
uh,
out just a little bit. Hold up one second. It's just cutting. Hoping that it'll like fix itself. But you're saying you're liking the some of the doubles on the fast rhymes, and then I started to cut out. So maybe just start again. Hopefully Skype isn't playing foolish right now.
yeah. So some of the doubles on the fast rhymes. Towards the end of the rhyme schemes, the doubles I think really just kind of make it stand out a bit more and a bit better. I really liked the doubles for like the whole line before that last fast bit because that gave me like a really hard Absol vibe almost, like Absol pineal gland type of vibes, and he's one of the rappers I like a lot.
Dope, dope.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Awesome, awesome. So we so far you say that are we in the right direction for what you want to sound like in this track?
I think it's a pretty good direction. Yeah, it's sort of like a mix between like Token and then like Absol. It's like a mix between the like lyrical chopper rappers and then like the trippy hippie rapper thing almost.
Okay, okay, dope, dope. Yeah, I was definitely like when I was trying to craft this, there was a level of like um I definitely want to say like logic in terms of some of the sounds. Like as I was basically setting up and adding different like dubs, like they just kind of sounded similar. So I was just like, all right, let's just kind of go with that approach. I like to employ like this thought where I say like I try to find the song in the song, which is just kind of mean like when I hear it, I go with kind of off a gut, but as I'm kind of doing it, I just try to like let it tell me what to do a little bit. It's kind of a like metaphysical way of speaking, like I'm speaking all abstract and crap, but it's just like I try to like let the sound give me the ideas, and just react to it. So let's switch gears and let's go on to what do you want to improve, because that's really what this is about with going over the first mix, and then what do we want to change, what do we feel is wrong, what do we feel like do we need more of something, I know you got some notes, so hit me with it.
So a few of the first things, which this is more just for me, but like there's a few specific parts in there that I want to work on for the sake of like clarity
Got
as
you.
far as enunciation and stuff goes, because I was in a very like specifically overhyped, really great vibe, and I got like one perfect recording finally after like a week. I'd like to actually knock that out and have it be like as good or better. That way, whenever you do all your producer mixing good stuff, it comes through and it's like on point. As far as stuff for you, uh, I'd still like to go through and get like the ad lib track almost so that we can start messing with that and start putting that in there.
Got you. Yep.
Um, I really like what you're doing as far as the whole doubles thing goes. I'm curious to hear what it would sound like if I did the doubles with ad libs, like instead of you doing your producer thing and like doubling it through the software. But I like the way that sounds too, so I'm just kind of curious to see how it sounds with the actual ad libs versus the software thing. Just see which one sounds better.
Yeah, it's cutting a little bit, but I hear what you're saying. So, what would it be like to put in your recording of what I like to call a double over top or with some of the ad libs I have, and maybe replace. And I'm gonna jump in here because I have an idea for that. So, there are. Well, I'm gonna try to make this bigger on my screen so make it easier for everyone to see. So I have these four different tracks that I use to create the doubles effects. So I'm actually gonna play this just so that make this kind of like clear for a second. So I'm gonna play the vocals and just the vocals with the doubles. So like there are four kinds, and I'll say what they are first. So the first one is wide, which is basically it sounds fairly close to your original voice. It's only marginally changed, and then it's wider. Then the next one is a pitch down, which is the whole like deeper voice kind of idea. Pitched up, which is just literally the opposite idea, and then an echo, which is mostly used in the latter part of the song, which is I think the part where you were saying gives you like an ab soul kind of vibe. So the thing, I'll play this in 1 second, but the thing that where I think your recording of your own doubles will be really effective, especially, would be to replace any of the wides. So the reason being is that when you record your own voice on top of your voice, right? Human nature is that you cannot repeat it perfectly ever, right? It's very rare that we get like a perfect identical take, but that imperfection is actually a really good thing. If it's actually 100% perfect, what will end up happening is that the two sounds will overlap and they'll start to cancel each other out and they'll sound weird. But when they're slightly different, which is how they always are, they start to sound a little different, and then it allows me to make the one that's a little bit different wide, and it will sound even better than if I do it in processing. Just there's something to the natural voice that will sound better. It'll just sound better than if I process it. So I'll play this now because I was just trying to like hype the example. So like this area here is one where I definitely think it will sound better. So
bar heavy. I'm not the type of guy that you would call deadly, cause you can't call shit when you're gone already. Get my verses hit like a verses.
oh, it's not playing that. 1 sec. Or is either my headphones aren't playing it. That's what it is. I'm not sure if you can hear it. I haven't set up my cues properly apparently. Oh, the computer is getting slow. Just gonna make sure I can hear that.
Can't call shit when you're gone already. Get my verses hit like a verses with Mike Tyson when he's in his prime and pissed like a pissed off actor. I can flip the scripts like a goddamn rat to catch get worth the diss. Hot damn.
So can you hear those like wide vocals coming in on the main one? Cool. Did you mute yourself, by the way? You just got like dead silent. I'm not hearing you at all right now. Oh, wait, I know what it is. Sorry, I forgot. Whenever I solo in this, I can't hear you. I gotta be careful of that. Yeah, so like, does that make sense what I'm saying? Essentially, like what we could do is record some of your doubles and then use them to replace some of these. And what I would do is figure out, based off of each recording, I'll make that decision as I see it, based on like which one sounds better in the moment. But that's kind of like some of what I see it kind of replacing. What do you think?
Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm going with this. Like, I really like the double effect on some of these. I like it on all of them pretty much, but like, I'm curious in terms of actually hearing the vocalized double versus the software double. on some of these, like these ones, for example,
Yeah.
just to see how it goes. And as you said, the software wide effect is like cool and all, but it like it's just like a different feel whenever somebody like vocalizes it. 'Cause you can't ever actually get it 100% perfectly. You did it that one time.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And yeah, like the places I think will still that where processing sometimes sounds um, it can sound better or arguably better, right? Everything's subjective to the art, but like the pitch down ones and the pitched up ones, they can feel a bit better because it's exactly the exact same audio, just pitched down but played at the exact same time. They will have a different like tightness to the song that will just feel more in sync. Whereas usually sometimes I find when we record it and then we try to like pitch it down, because you know your timing is a little bit different and it's pitched down, it doesn't feel as tight, right, to the track. You know, like that stuff that you hear, like, you know, and Logic does it or other people do it, and you get that like the dark tones mixed with the high tones kind of coming in. So all right, so things that we want to do so far is get some recorded doubles, get some recorded ad libs. I just want to make sure we're like also not mixing terminology. So ad libs just being like your shout outs, right? Are you referring to like doing those as well, where you just kind of get that back, like, woo, you know, like that kind of stuff?
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
yeah stuff.
Yeah, whatever is your style, because ad libs are, especially nowadays, are way more like there's more of like a, I want to say an art to it, but I don't mean like in a pressure way. I just mean like it's really just like whatever your style is. Like one artist I work with, you know, he's always got like the same like couple of phrases he's always saying, and it's just become part of like what you anticipate in every song, right? Like, and that's just what it is. But yeah, so you plan to do some ad libs as well.
Yeah.
Okay. What kinds of things do we want? Is there anything we want to change, like from a mix perspective? Like anything in the quality of the sound that's standing out to you, that you're like, you know, I prefer it to be a little different. You know, maybe the vocals are too bright, or they're maybe not bright enough. Like I just want to get a sense of like from an art perspective, from like what you're trying to get across to your fans, what like what's good, or what do you want to change, sorry, at this point?
So one thing that you mentioned was specifically the type of microphone I was using. You said was sounding kind of boxy,
Yeah.
and I was thinking about trying to experiment to see if I could do something about that to make it just a little less boxy and more like actually fill up the space kind of sound. So I'm gonna see as far as like what I can do with that. But as far as the actual like mix and everything goes, clarity wise, I think it sounds good. I just did kind of catch a little bit of the boxy stuff and didn't really pay it too much mind. But after you mentioned it and I played it back again after that, I kind of noticed it more.
Yeah. There's like the one part that I kind of felt like got boxy was near the end, in and around here. I'll just play it. Like there's like a slight change in this last part, just tonally. And to note to that is the things that you can try to do is keeping your body positioned the same, which is hard to do when you like want to be hype and you want to like, you know, be just giving it whatever and doing all the kind of moving with your body. The problem, so if we all had perfect money, right, and we could all buy a Newman, or what commonly says a Neumann, if we could all buy like the Newman mic, which is like a $3,600 microphone, the pickup on that thing is so beautiful and so perfect that, like, you know, if I move slightly, it's gonna sound the same, right? It's gonna be beautiful. But with like the lesser expensive microphones, sometimes slight shifts in how we position ourselves will, with some microphones it'll just sound quieter, but with some microphones it will start to sound tonally slightly different. Like they really have to be positioned a certain way to get a certain fullness out of your voice. And then you go what we call slightly off axis, like if we start to move a little to the left, a little to the right. I'm doing it right now to try to give you a sense of what my mic's doing. Sometimes they pick up slight differences in tone, like they just drop out certain frequencies of your voice. Not that I'm trying to get too super nerdy with it, but just to the point being, sometimes you got to keep yourself certain positions. So one thing you can do is listen back, and when you're doing like, okay, I want to fix certain parts, you can of course try to re-record the whole thing, but you can also try to record just like some comps where it being just specific parts. Oh, these 4 bars are bothering me, so I'm gonna rap like 2 bars in front of it and 2 bars after it, just so that I can get that flow in, and I'll send like 2 or 3 versions of it over. So you'd send them over to me, and then I would just kind of like pick and choose from those and replace what's already in here. Literally, like, just so you can tell, like, for me, like, I literally just create like these new versions of the track, drop the stuff in, figure out what works, and I can always toggle back and forth between the versions of your vocals and comp it together and figure out what's needed. So you don't have to worry too much about like how that happens. You just be like, record me 3 or 4 different takes, I slot it in, and then I figure out what's the best one to work with. So if I were to summarize that, try to keep yourself straight position on the mic and record a couple extra versions of a section, and we can always try to work with that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got you.
Cool. Yeah, I'll play this part though, so you can kind of hear what I was like referring to, because I mentioned it earlier and I didn't show it. So.
Got more bars than Motorola. Your whole squad be Quasimodo. From the weight you barely carry, I'm so strong I'm throwing boulders. I think I might try to find up a nice dime. We'll look at the pint size, fitting like my rhymes with
Sorry, I left the setting on, and it's like now playing like triple 4 times in my ear, and it's like starting to mess with me. Dub vocals, just mute that. I'll play it back a little again. So.
From the weight you barely carry, I'm so strong I'm throwing boulders. I think I might try to find up a nice dime. We'll look at the pint size, fitting like my rhymes with thought that I might die. Like hitting got 9 lives, I spit it with a bit, it'll be good to go try mine. You say I'm a nice.
It might be noticeable, but it's probably a little bit less now after a lot of the processing that I put on, because I'm listening and I'm like, I'm not hearing it as much, but it's probably because a lot of like me actually trying to cut the frequencies that cut kind of weird. But that was a section there that I was like, at first, this part I was like struggling with a little bit to like get the boxiness out, if that makes sense. What do you think?
Yeah, I got you. So going through the software, going through Skype, and then coming through my headphones, it's not really quite as noticeable, but through the mix that you sent me, because you actually went ahead and like emailed me the song after you mixed it, I could kind of feel it more. I feel like I can't feel it quite as much going through
Fair.
all the software processing it's going through right now to get to me, but like I know what you're referring to because I've already heard it. The actual.
Yeah, sorry, the audio cut out there for a second, but I'm gonna stop using Skype next time. I'm gonna just find an alternative tool. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's downgraded a little bit. I'm gonna have to try. I'm just sorry. I'm thinking right now. Like I'm gonna try a couple of different tools for next time. I've been meaning to get on them. I just didn't get on them yet. So, but yeah. Were there any other pieces from like perspective of, you'd want to hear more of one of these dubs, like more of one of these echoes, or more of like a pitch down or pitch up vocal? Not so much like the standard doubling, but like the other ones.
So for this song, it was specifically like running along sort of a token vibe, and I like all the pitched up, pitched down, double vocals type thing. I think it fits well the way that we've got it. We can try a few more. As far as like actual ideas of a few more, I'm thinking like potentially like the internal rhymes for a certain couple parts. But specifically for like some of the other songs that I've been working on, I've got a few songs that are supposed to be like more or less trippy, like audio effect wise, and those would probably fit a lot better. With this one, I think we're in a pretty solid direction in terms of like how much we're intending to do and like where we're intending to do it.
Cool.
So the only part I can really think of where I'm thinking we might try to do more, but might not even stick to it, to be honest, because we might try it and it might just sound like too much. Be Uh, I have to actually find the note I wrote.
Sorry, just it's cutting out again. Back up and on the mic again or whatever.
Said I'm gonna have to find the actual note to find roughly like where the time is for these lines.
Got you.
The internals that I'm talking about are like the very like beginning of the line, the like quick though kids go you rapping too much. I ain't even trying to rap just my vocab stuff. This bro, this no chance to give it up. Like those the first like two words in each line for a little bit. We could try something more there, but I don't know exactly how well that would fit as far as the rest of the song. I feel like overall this kind of like fits within itself well. And if we put too much effect on like one specific part, the rest of it might feel like it's actually fine. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Basically, if we do too much, then like it can take away. I forget exactly where that part is, and I think what I'll do is I'll kind of mess with that, like outside of the this recording, just to like get some ideas. Also, because I think the computer's starting to slow down a little bit on me. I'm noticing as I'm moving, it's like a little jittery. But yeah, so I'll figure out. So what was one of the lyrics from there, just so I can write down where that. I'll figure out where that spot is, and I'll make some like trial and error shit.
Quick though, kids go, you rapping too much. I ain't even trying to rap, it's just my vocab's tough. This bro gets no chance to give it up. I've been spazzing in my sleep, so when I'm napping, it's a bump.
Got you. So though broke. Okay, I'm just gonna go off what the rhyme is, and then I'll find the spot. I feel like that's somewhere middle to the end, but I forget. Cool. Yeah. And as you can see with these things right here, like these are all the parts where all the dubs come in. So it's always super easy to add these in and all that kind of stuff. So, um, yeah, it's not a big deal there. One thing I like to say, and I feel like you should call it out for those who like listen and are curious what you mean when you say internals, because I know what you mean, and I love the fact that like that you're on your game as a rapper and are meant referencing internals. But I feel like there's some people out there who gonna watch this and be like, what does he mean when he says internals? So like, why don't you break that down for someone who doesn't know?
So like internal rhyme schemes would be whenever you have one bar that is one entire line that takes up four beats. If on like beat one or two you have something that you rhyme with another line on beat one and two, that's not at the end of the line. So there's the end of the line rhymes that would be like most of the old rap you hear didn't have a lot of internal rhyme schemes. And then towards the beginning of the line or the middle of the line rhymes, those would be the internals. So one thing that people like about Tech9 or Token, to be honest, for example, is they have a lot of internal rhyme schemes. So Tech9 would be like, I'm the nine, define the wine, whatever. Those probably aren't even real lyrics, but to be just like, for example, I'm the nine, define the wine. The like long I sound in the beginning and the middle of the actual four beat, one bar part would be like what an internal rhyme scheme is.
Yo, man, much respect, because there's enough people that don't even know that concept. I love it. Coming up somebody who's like I've rapped for years, and like just totally know what you're talking about. One of my favorite videos to geek out on is back when Genius was posting videos that were like actually about lyricism. The one that they did on Kendrick Lamar's what is it? Oh my gosh, it's the remix to, and I'm forgetting his name right now. Um, Schoolboy Q track, the one that Schoolboy Q put out, and then J Rock and then Kendrick Lamar jumped on that remix, and I can't remember right now. I gotta pull up my phone. I love the track though. Wow, it's killing me. Is it? It's gonna take me a minute to find it, isn't it? Oh, I forget. I'm gonna have to find it and send it to you just like after this, because it's like it's like one of like the Kendrick Lamar has some of the sickest internal rhymes, like some of the most, like he has bars on bars on bars, like just that just are stacking multiple internal rhymes and then start to build internal rhymes for the next ones. Just like Kendrick Lamar for me is like sometimes just like just ridiculous in terms of how he's able to structure his rhymes. Um, Dope. So, so far, what if I were to summarize? Essentially, what we're gonna do next steps is you're gonna do some recording of some ad libs, some doubles, and maybe some like parts where you're just gonna try to like fix anything you're just not happy with the way you're hitting it in this recording. I'm gonna try to look at just adding a couple more of the like process doubles, so to speak, with inside the track around where you're doing the rap that has like quick though and broke as like the rhyme structure, and I'll just see what else there is to do in there. Um, and right now you're overall you're really liking the clarity of how it sounds. Is there anything else that at this point that you know feel you want to change?
Off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything specific that I want to change. I just have like those couple things that I want to try and see how it actually works,
Gotcha.
see
Dope.
how it comes through towards the end. But I think you've done a pretty great job so far. So overall, there's not really anything major I can think of off the top of my head.
Oh, I appreciate that. I mean, my goal is just to like whenever I'm working with somebody like yourself, just trying to make this to be the best that it can be. Like I have my own personal goals in terms of quality and clarity, but at the same time, you know, trying to help you achieve some of your vision. And you know something that I'm always trying to do, especially with somebody who's you know not had maybe a lot of great mixes before, is like my goal is always to say somebody I work with, the first time we work together, that first song is like, it's a big jumping point in terms of like, wow, I've never heard myself like that before. That's always a goal. I always want people to kind of go away with that. So and then you know obviously come back and then we do more of that. But the you know my goal for this is to make sure that we come out of this and you're like, damn, I just not heard myself on a track like that before. And then other people are like, damn, I have not heard you on a track like that before. That's the goal. So, but anyways, nothing else for now. We can call it there for today. And obviously we'll be following up to get those next pieces done. So, sound good?
Sounds great.
All right. Thanks everybody for watching the video. Hope you enjoy it. That's it for me. How Apex? How about you send them off?
I don't know what to say here. I like turtles. You all have a great day.
Peace, y'all.